So we're back in the garage, checking the welds. I think I'm gonna go with it. We're looking good. So now we can either install the pump, install the, we'll get the pump installed, we can get the reservoir put back in. I need to figure out where the orbital is going to mount. And then we can start working on getting the bracket put on. So I got some nice welds here. So let's start getting to work. Let's get some stuff put back on this thing so we can get her closer to getting back out on the road and to our trip. So here we go. All right, pump reservoir is installed. Now I can get a hose from here down to the cooler. Get a hose from there out to the cooler. This guy's being a little terror today. He's all over the place. Here's some Snapchat clips I took of him earlier. Come on. All right, well, let's get back to work. Let's figure out where this orbital is going to go. It looks like it can go right here on the driver's side frame rail. Right in this area right here. I moved the brake line down to give myself some room. All tacked in. I think that's going to be a good spot for it. Well, how about this? I hope it's a good spot for it. Turns good, no binding. Orbital mount, all welded up. Let that thing cool, throw some paint on it, and then get the orbital mounted. And we could start working on the front. Ugh. So I think we may be ready to put this on. Got some paint on it. Might actually be, a hindering when it comes to welding it, but I think I can put some tacks on there and get it up in there and see what else we need to get done. Get some stuff out of the way so we can move. Yeah, almost look like Chris Farley there. That guy in a little cover. All right, so we'll get it up there. We'll mark it. Take some of the paint that I put on there off, get some welds on it, and see what it looks like being held up there on its own. Sat in there, pretty centered as far as on the bracket goes. I can't center it to the axle because of the pumpkin, but now I can get my heim joints out here, check those. All right, I think we finally got the full hydro steering done and possibly right. So let's go through what I got to do. Let's go through what I had to do to get to this point to where I am ready to put the wheels and tires on it and test it out, give it a drive down the street. I got to order some more parts because I went too fast and I fully welded in the, actually, no, it wouldn't even have mattered because that, we'll talk about that in a second. But all right, so what I did to get to this point. I had to remove the reservoir, flush it completely out. The pump had to replace a fitting on it. The fitting that was in it was this little guy. The hole was too small. So the fitting that's in it is a little bit bigger. That helps with flow rate. That had to be flushed as well because I used transmission fluid in my system before. So there's that. TMR mount, great mount, nice universal. If I could do it again, I might go with a Artec, something like that, not sure. This one wasn't bad, and it was only like $175, I think, 170, 180. The Artec is like $450, so this one's probably going to work. It does leave a little bit to out the front that maybe needs some protection. I mean, Ultra 4 guys run these things and they're bashing them in rocks and they don't have an issue. Now granted, we're going a little slower, whatever. But here's where I screwed up. So when I built this system, the tires were on the ground and apparently I did not have my steering geometry right. Because what I did is I centered the ram, and then I did my measurements out to the wheels. Well, the wheels were on the ground. I never lifted them off, never turned them, and I didn't even remove the tie rod. I did all the measurements with the tie rod still connected. But what happened, somehow, I don't know, but my passenger side, I ended up making it the link too long, and then my driver's side was too short. So I don't know if I bumped my ram, which I'm not sure. But after a lot of trial and error, I ended up bringing the link, disconnecting the links, turning the ram all the way passenger, setting the steering stop just off a stop, measuring. Then I did the same for the other side. Turned all the way driver, set that steering stop just off, like 3/16 off a steering stop, measured. And then this link is I got too much exposed, too much threads exposed. So the 10-inch link that comes with the kit is not long enough, so I'm going to have to order some material and a couple new bungs to do that side. This side, the passenger side, I could probably grind down some more, or grind down some and give me a little bit of adjustment. But right now, my toe is perfect. I don't have any toe in or toe out. I don't know if I can get toe in on the passenger side because I think I'm already pretty much buried. I can definitely toe in on the driver's side. Don't want to do it as of right now. This isn't going to be a road princess. It will get driven on the road, but I don't know if I'll even notice the no toe in. I may, who knows. But that's that. The Orbital. I opted to mount it this way. Looking back, it might have been better to mount it the other direction, but it is what it is. This will work just fine. I've got a protective sleeve on the two hoses going down to the ram. None of the other hoses really need a protective sleeve. The Motobilt orbital mount worked out pretty well. I actually kind of like that. PSC, this is it. PSC steering ram, or the PSC steering column, made that install super simple. and then fill it and bleed it. And I think I might still have some bleeding I need to do. Last night I was running the steering wheel around a bunch of times, and it seemed to be okay. But it's a hydraulic system, and I need to do that some more before I give that the seal of approval. So yeah, I guess now it's just a matter of putting the wheels and tires back on it, and getting it on the ground, getting some weight on the wheels, on the steering, and do some rocking back and forth. So